So my next question has to do with collective expansion. Is it value? I feel like there's a lot of relief for me to imagine the heaven that we're all creating as a collective heaven. And I'm wondering, you must be able to see quite clearly that reality that we've created vibrationally.
Oh, we do. We've been calling it a vortex because it's a vibrational reality that is only the veil that physical beings want to believe that is separating them from seeing it is only about it being a vibration that you have not figured out how to translate into your physical senses. You haven't figured out how to become such a vibrational match to it that it is manifestable to you. You see, you're not letting it reveal itself, or you're not allowing yourself the revelation of it.
But one person can see that. I could begin to see that clearly and live that reality, and then there must be joy in seeing other people's proximity and talking it up.
Well,
I could see myself coming together with people talking up that.
There are a number of things that we want to say to you in response to that, because there are different ways of looking at it. And this is the way that we are approaching it, and we think it will help you as you just sort of follow along in this. There's nothing that we're going to say here that is off-putting to the beliefs that you already hold, but it is clarifying, and we think you'll get a better vantage point as you listen to it in this way. So, as a source energy creator, you came into this environment with a really big reason. And it wasn't to fix a broken world. It was to explore and have the joy of expansion. So the contrast causes you to launch these rockets that are being held in a vibrational reality. And for many, that's that heaven that they are reaching for. In other words, they are hoping for something. They're hoping for a better time. And in many cases, they're hoping to return to heaven for a better time. In many cases, they're hoping that future generations will benefit by the work that they are doing and that it will be better on earth. But they're hoping for something or wanting something, and in our words, creating something that in manifested sense is future tense. Only because right now I can't see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it. So I'll call it heaven, I'll call it future, I'll call it a dream, I'll call it a hope, but right now it's not manifesting. What we want is for you to begin to use your vibrational senses, to sense it even though you can't see it, to know it even though it hasn't manifested. That's really what faith is. Faith is vibrational alignment with something that I can't yet see, that I can't yet prove in the traditional sense, but I know it, I feel it, you see. So that really is why the vortex, or the analogy of the vortex, was born, because everything that eventually becomes a manifestation was a vibrational reality first, you see. And Source is tending to that vibrational reality. Now we're saying to you that all that you want is in this vibrational reality. But you didn't come to create so that you could have a good time in heaven later. You came to create so that all that is considered to be good could fill in around as validation of your goodness and worthiness now, you see. And so once it's a vibrational reality, by the way, everything that everyone wants, whether it's a material object or a stack of money or a relationship or a circumstance or an event, anything that anyone wants is because they think they will feel better in the having of it. And yet most physical beings, once they've created this vibrational reality, it's not that exciting to them to hear that their lover is there or that the money is there, because until they can sleep with it or spend it or go to dinner with it or have an experience with it, until they can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it, it's not the reality that they're really looking for. But we want it to be. We want this vortex to be the reality that you are feeling for, because if you will stimulate your ability to feel, and you will let yourself be exhilarated about the vibrational version of it, and you will practice the vibrational version of it until it feels normal to you, now you've achieved this vibrational version, and you've also achieved a vibrational state of being right here where you stand. We're calling this your grid. In other words, it's you preparing your vibrational state of being and gradually bringing it up to speed with everything that's in the vortex, so that there's no vibrational variance between what you've created vibrationally and what you're maintaining, what your beliefs have come to be. And when you accomplish that alignment, now what's in the vortex flows into your experience where you can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it. The first of those revelations come in the form of emotion. And as you're able to maintain that emotion of well-being, even though you can't see it yet, even though it hasn't happened yet, even though the absence of it by earth standards is much more prevalent than the presence of it, if you can conjure the vibration of belief, which is what faith is, faith in what is not yet seen, as you've achieved vibrational alignment with it, it has to flow into your experience, and the validation of it will be wonderful as it manifests. But we want to say to you, those manifestations, the joy of those manifestations are really short-lived. They'll keep, Esther used to say, "Oh, you should buy that car for me. It will make me happy for the afternoon." And that's, turns out it's longer with this new car, but she's not as excited about it today as she was a few months ago when she bought it. There are more things coming into the picture that she's turning her attention to, you see.
Yeah.
And so that was really a good conversation, wasn't it? That you are a vibrational being who must manifest because you're here in physical form. But if you care less about what you're manifesting and more about what you're feeling, if you're willing to feel for the contents of the vortex, and you'll stop beating the drum of the absence of what you think might be in there, as your vibration raises, it has to show itself to you. And that's when your true sense of fun happens. That's when your true sense of worthiness happens. That's when your true sense of co-creative ingenuity happens. That's when you begin to revel in life experience.
This might be a bit cheeky, but I've been wanting to ask you about what's in my vortex. You can close enough proximity, because you can see it more clearly than I am, I'm sure.
We can, but that question defies the whole conversation we just had. Because what you're saying is, Abraham, don't ask me to conjure faith in what's unseen. You make it a verbal reality. Lay it on my ears, and then I'll believe it. Paint a picture for my mind to see, and then I'll believe it. And we say, everything that you've carved out is there. Everything that you want is there. And in the same way that you do not want all of the food that you will eat for the rest of this life to be delivered to your table at lunchtime today, you really don't want to eat it all today. You don't want all of the content of that vortex to dump itself into your reality today either. But you want it to come incrementally and consistently and lovingly and supportively and confirmingly. You want it to come in confirmation of what you've put there. And so we want to throw it back to you. What have you put there? What have you put there? You want to be meaningful to this world. You want to fulfill your reason for being. General, so general.
General, yeah. I want to feel very confident in my presence. I want to feel the confidence of my alignment.
What's it going to take to do that? You have to have a manifestation? Does it have to manifest?
No, it's a manifestation of a feeling, like you say.
So it's the emotion that you're reaching for.
I want to be an emotional presence. I want to feel.
So how do you feel when we called you forward here?
Well, my heart was beating like a drum.
Yeah.
And continued to beat for quite some time like a drum.
Yeah. But what is the consensus of the emotion that you felt? You had to feel.
I was feeling pretty confident.
You had to feel. We knocked a girl right off her chair to get to you.
I felt like I was going to get picked. I did. Because I could feel an alignment occurring.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so.
And so you knew it and we knew it. And so here it is. And so what's that feeling? What's that confirming feeling? Feeling of confidence. It's a feeling of knowing. That's what confidence is knowing. Knowing of what? Knowing of what? Knowing that things are lined up, knowing that the timing is right, knowing that there's about to be a manifestation. There's about to be a manifestation that confirms a vibrational patterning that I've got going on. So that's all you ever need, is just to remember that. Just remember that feeling. Yeah?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just one last thing.
Yeah.
Very quick, sorry everyone. you've helped me to realize that the universe, all the power of the universe is with me when I'm going for my greatest dream. Going for lesser things,
The energy
there's
that
not as
creates-
much power behind me. And
Say again, we were talking right over the top of you.
Yeah, it's like you've helped me to realize that miracles happen when you go for your dreams because everything's with you. The
A
universe is
miracle
with you.
meaning a freak
Well,
of nature?
you know, sometimes you hear of people following their dream and they throw themselves off into something that might seem risky or scary, but they're doing what they love and they don't know what's going to happen, but all these amazing things start happening.
Well, the way we would describe that is when someone throws themselves into something that maybe others are calling risky, or maybe they even at one time would have called risky. When they're throwing themselves into it, it means that they have achieved a vibrational pattern that makes their expectation of success strong enough, at least for the moment that they're making the decision to throw themselves into it. So for them, there was no feeling of risk. We're never encouraging you to feel afraid and jump in anyway, because the fear that you feel is your indication that you haven't prepared the grid and it's going to be hard. We want you, that's why we want you to make it general enough that the fear goes away. We want you to take yourself into a place where the fear has subsided. And then it's not risky. Someone recently asked us, what's the difference between a possibility and a probability? And we said, we would really like to take it further to a certainty. Because a possibility or a probability, those are just weaker vibrational convictions. That's just less focus upon what is wanted. But if you can hear us when we say that you have put things in your vortex that are a vibrational reality, and even though you can't see them, you've got to trust that they are there. So if you foster the feeling of trust and expectation, if you talk to yourself enough, if you convince yourself that you are worthy and that you came with reason, if you let law of attraction demonstrate to you that it is consistent 100% of the time, if you begin to make the parallels between what you were thinking and feeling and what happened, so that you have this clear association about the way the law of attraction responds to you, as you think and feel purposefully and then watch the way things happen, as you start playing this game deliberately, it's not then a game of trusting something that is unknown. It's a game of knowing something that is absolutely known. The law of attraction is not messing with you. It's not squirrely at all. It is consistent 100% of the time. And so it will help you to teach yourself what this emotion brought and what this emotion brought. There are two ways to know what you're doing with your vibrational frequency. One is what's manifesting, because what's manifesting around you is evidential of what you're doing, what you're putting out vibrationally. But the other way, a pre-manifested way, is by paying attention to the way you feel. So as you begin to comment to yourself, to acknowledge, I'm a thinking being, and I'm offering vibration, and I can feel the resonance in my vibration. I remember sitting in that chair. I remember knowing that I was going to be called on, and then I was called on. I remember feeling the emotion of confidence before I had the evidence of confidence. And thousands of other things that are happening to you every month, that give you that sort of evidence, until you show yourself the universe's response to the vibration that you're offering. That's the way you gain your confidence. You flow it, and then you watch what happens, and you flow it. Esther said to a friend the other day, she really liked the movie Groundhog Day. The first time she saw it, she turned it on somewhere in the middle, and she couldn't figure out what was happening. But as she watched it from the beginning to the end, she has been thinking recently that since you never get it done and you can't get it wrong, that every time you have an experience, you have the opportunity to regroup and play it again more in the way that you're wanting. And the way the universe is responding to you, it lets you know, it's giving you feedback. So the conversation that we're having with our friends these days is all about understanding that you are standing here as a vibrating being, emanating a signal, and that you are conjuring or creating a point of attraction that we are lovingly referring to as your grid.